bring out the Premiership Cup, and it's a great pleasure to introduce a couple of legends from their respective clubs. Would you please welcome from South Launceston, Todd Bryan, and from Longford, Anthony Teddy Williams. Stuff. Thank you, guys. We'll get you to line up with your teams. Thank you to Todd and to Teddy. And I'd now like to invite Scotty Hill from our naming rights partner, Bogues, to come forward to toss the coin. And if we could have the skippers, please, from the respective teams to come forward. And it's going to be South Launceston's call. Heads is the call. It's tails, so Longford have won the toss. They'll kick to the city end in the first quarter. And if I could please invite everyone, if you're able to be upstanding for the national anthem.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are one and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage of birds Australia bear. In joyful strains, and let us sing our birds Australia bear.
Thank you very much, everyone, and good luck to both teams.
Welcome to University of Tasmania Stadium for what promises to be a fantastic game. The Premier Division Reserves Grand Final, a replay of last year. You could get the feeling that we're in a time zone. It's South Launceston against Longford, their nemesis in last year's Grand Final. This year, South Launceston qualifying first, Longford coming the long way. And I'm joined in commentary today by Nathan Warren. Nathan, I know you'd be excited like I am, but what a game we've got in front of us.
Oh, it should be a cracker, Rob. Yeah, looking forward to this one. I like the 18s and then the women's. Are two good games so far, so this one's definitely shaping up to be a ripper as well.
It is, and South Launceston came in the easy way. Probably the big surprise for many who follow this reserves competition. Nathan, Bridgenorth finished on top of the ladder. South got the better of them in the second semi in Longford last week, so straight sets for the Parrots, which has set up a rematch of last year's grand final. And I know, as I'm sure you do, talking to a lot of South guys, they're out for revenge.
Absolutely. They'll be chafing at the bit to get this going, hit the scoreboard early and get the game on their terms, and let's see what Longford can come back with.
Couple of big ins. It's not often you talk, you're sitting in a reserves grand final and you're watching a guy run around who won the medal as best on in the seniors grand final. And great point you made there, Nathan. Tom Larby, a big inclusion for this Longford Tigers side today.
It's Michael Larby.
Michael Larby, sorry.
Yeah, that's actually my mistake. I wrote down his brother's name, Tom. Larbs, he obviously took the medal out in the senior game last year with a dominant performance in the ruck, and he's set to probably play a major influence in this game too, mate.
Yeah, so we'll talk about some of the intricacies as we go along, but I know South Launceston very, very keen to make amends, and that second semi-final winner set them up. We're all ready for action here. And the ball goes up. Larby gets his hand on it first, continuing his form from the big one last year. And Longford are going to get a look inside 50.
Charlie Taylor.
And that's a great mark taken there by Charlie Taylor. 12 seconds on the clock. And Taylor's going to be lining up from around about, he'll kick it anyway, from around about 40 metres out from goal on a slight angle.
So Charlie won the under-18s league goal kicking last year, I think it was, or the year before, if I'm not mistaken. Goal sneak, loves the goal, and he's quite a celebrator too when he gets them. Let's have a look.
Yep.
Here he goes. Well, great start.
Tigers from all points of the compass, Nathan Warren, come to him. And great your knowledge of Charlie Taylor, but just to start, the Tigers want.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, that's that scoreboard pressure you talk about, isn't it? So let's see how South respond. We know they're a good outfit. They've obviously had to make some changes with some guys that were overqualified in Woodcock Davis and Jack Colgrave, who are two senior players. So I know they've brought in Alexander, Tom Graham and Connor Wiggins, under 18s players, who they will stand up. They're big boys.
Ball back in the middle, early stages, and Longford with the first score on the board. Larby again giving his on-baller's first use. Longford got a breeze as well. They've won the toss and kicking to the Invermay Road end of the ground. It's a great pressure tackle, and South are away. Didn't get a fortuitous bounce. Caleb Nason busy early. Quick kick forward there from Jack Marr. Longford defender chopping that one off and driving that back into the middle of the ground. South have got the numbers there, though. Hopefully will steady. Nice hands there, Sawford. By foot just on 50. And it falls beautifully there to Will Bennett. He takes a nice mark. Bennett's going to drive it along inside 50. To a contest. Field Reeves. Busy off the ground. Check side, and that's going to be okay, and that's the answering goal to Ben Haywood, who was one of South's best in the game last year, Nathan Warren, and all square at the 2-minute mark of the first quarter.
Absolutely. It's reminiscent of, although it took halfway through the second quarter for the goals to happen in the 18s, but goal for goal. And Field Reeves, he's very dangerous around goals, played a lot of senior football in the statewide league, and obviously TSA in NTFA seniors, so he'll be dangerous up there and hard matchup.
Yeah, he is, Field Reeves. He's just a really smart player around goals, so we certainly know, looking at this South Launceston team sheet, they've got a number of players who are good avenues to goal. Ball back in the middle. Ruckman do battle again. Larby dominant early. Sam Graham played about 1 million games for Longford. He's going to give him another inside 50. Quick kick forward. Ball bobbling around, juggled. Oh, I thought that mark might have been taken there by the Longford player. South steady, they're going to move it out. Quick hack kick forward on the left, back towards the centre of the ground. Luck's not really working in South's favour there with that bounce. Bursting through there was another senior player, Sam Graham. Sorry, not Sam Graham, I should say Sam Luttrell. He's given away a free kick there, Sam Page. Sam's everywhere today. The Sam Club. The umpire says, no, you've got to go back, Sam Page.
He's a big specimen, is Sam Luttrell. He's a big human, and he'll try and enforce his size throughout this game, that's guaranteed.
Chip kick forward there. Only as far as Ollie Alexander. He loads up, drives it long inside 50. Longford defender in best position, Haywood. He's going to be really important. Sorry, that was Field Reeves, I should say. He's going to be really important to them, as Nathan noted earlier. Really smart player around the footy.
Yeah, he's crafty. In situations like that, he's crafty. So Jack Marr playing too, the senior coach of South Launceston.
Yeah, it's good to see Jack still playing football. He wouldn't mind me telling you this, Nathan, but no, Jack was a very, very good junior soccer player till I stole him from the Kings Meadow soccer coach, Sean Harris. And he loves his footy. He's done a great job up at South this year.
Certainly has.
All over the boundary line. Approaching 5 minutes, all square. South Launceston and Longford a goal apiece. Rob Soward and Nathan Warren here at the Premier Division Reserves Grand Final. Boundary umpire throws it in. Larby to Graham. Tackle. Good physical pressure around the ball.
Rob, it's interesting to me, Sam Graham starting as an on-baller. Generally he's a ruckman or he'll play centre-half back, centre-half forward, but he's actually starting as an on-baller, which is, he's obviously played 5 million games of football, probably in the ruck. But, yeah, interesting starting position for him.
It certainly is. We did see last week, I know, different brand of footy, but yes, Old Scotch and St Pat's did a bit of that too with some of their tools. So obviously the coach is thinking there's a little bit of an advantage in it, but yeah, most of what I've seen of Sam's football, like you, Nathan's been in the ruck.
Yeah, now he's flipped out and Larby's gone forward now, so Sam's taking the ruck duties now by the look of it.
They're going to keep that one in. Tom Gatenby, that was. Quick hands for touch, and Ollie Alexander off his hands and out of bounds. They're just around from the wing position.
It's good that South can bring in some quality underage players into, top up their reserves with some guys that are unavailable. So it's really good from a club perspective that they're nice and strong through those age groups.
There's certainly a lot of depth there, that's for sure. Umpire's picked out a free kick. It's going to go in the South Launceston direction, and that looks like Nick Homan. No, it's not. 28, Nico Kruger. Nick's, Sam's, it's all happening there, Nathan. They're causing us a bit of concern. Jack Maher in the long sleeves, drives that back towards the middle. Longford have got the numbers. Sam Luttrell's going to pick that one up. He's tackled beautifully. Bit of a size mismatch there, but Ryan Fraser, he has nailed him. And,
so Ryan's brother played in the under-18s game for Georgetown actually earlier on. It was very good.
Another inside 50 there for South. Ball carries over the back. Is it going to sit? Just bobbling around. The thing we love about our Australian rules football doesn't sit truly, and Sam Graham very happy seeing that one out of bounds in the South Launceston forward pocket. 7 minutes gone, all square. The Tigers and the Bulldogs. Luttrell in the ruck up against Field Reeves. Bit of a mismatch there. Luttrell taps it out only as far as the South player. He's thrown that one on the boot quickly, and it's a great mark taken there by Field Reeves. You talked about his goalcraft, Nathan Warren. As soon as that ball was cleared, straight into the hot spot, wasn't he?
Yeah, he knew exactly where that ball was going to drop and just own the front area of that. And I can guarantee, Rob, this will be a goal.
You wouldn't think he'd miss from
there.
I've
done it, haven't I?
He's killed us. It's the commentators. Look, he'd kick a million of those, and that'd be the only one he'd miss. But costly miss from Field Reeves.
I'll keep my mouth shut now, mate.
He'll be wanting you to keep quiet. But it should lay down Mazaire, that one. But anyway, 7 plays 6. South are going to have another look at it. It goes deep in forward there, but the boundary line again wins that one out. Playing a lot on the far side of the ground there, Nathan Warren.
Yeah, and the win, Rob, I noticed in especially the first game that I watched, it was out there. The wind's favouring the city end and to the riverside as well. So the sides tend in the 18s, if they switch the ball across, take the ball off the line and get to the fat side, they tend to get an inside 50.
Boundary throw-in beats everyone. South player at the back there is going to clean that up. Only as far as the Longford player in, that was Ben Murfitt. Sam Graham. Ball bounces, it's going to be all right there. That was Caleb Nason, chopped it off. He's gone back to Tregurtha. He's tackled. Longford have got numbers around the footy. Tregurtha, a great second effort, the vice-captain. He's locked that one up. He was one of their best players in the loss last year, so he'll be looking at going one better this year. Sam Graham nominates for this ruck, and he takes it out of the air against Caleb Nason. Nothing really sitting for either side at the moment. It's just a bit of to and fro. Tregurtha's asking for holding the ball. South have got numbers around it. Umpire says it's mine. Just gone 9 minutes. South up 7-6. Graham using his expertise, pushing his opponent under the ball. South come away with it. Agonis wobbling around there. Longford player trying to pick it up. Looked like a throw. Ollie Alexander kept it moving. Certainly not an open brand of football, Nathan Warren, at the moment.
No, and as you alluded to, it's just sort of stuck on that side. So could be nerves, could be a factor of things, wind and that. But I reckon once we start opening the game up a little bit, we'll see a transition, both ways.
Yeah, and again, we're looking forward to that. Again, it'll be interesting to see how both sides handle that. But at the moment, it's just an arm wrestle, early stages of the Premier Division Grand Final. Umpire said that hasn't gone far enough. South have got the ball. They've moved it forward on their half-forward line. Chopped off nicely there across the back by Longford defender. South player turned there, Sam Page. Could have held on it. The umpire said no, he's going to ball it up. So good physical pressure from both sides around the footy at the moment. Good, honest, tough stuff that you'd want to see in a grand final. Nason taps it down. Neither side getting on top and taking it away, although that's going to sit okay there for the South Launceston player in Dylan Page. Back there for Longford was Sam Gray. Gives it by hand to Luttrell. Luttrell, a quick kick out at far side. Longford player in Tom Gatenby, happy to see that one over the boundary line. And sponsor of today's game, Jeremy Wilkinson, top salesperson for the last 5 years, Harcourts Tasmania. Just in front of his signage there that we can see on screen at the moment. So boundary umpire throwing that one in. Graham in the ruck against Nason. Graham, nice tap. No one in particular. Gathered beautifully there by Riley Dabner. Tigers are going to have a look at it here in the Agonists direction. I think that one's wry smile on Tony Agonis's face. He thought he might have snagged that one, but off the feet and boundary throw in.
He had a great game last week, Tony, in the kick 3, I think, out at Hillwood to really seal the game for him. Been a state in our underage competition, a state ruckman for the Devils over the years. And what Longford have got is a plethora of big men. They've actually got 4 legitimate ruckmen out there, so and they don't get any smaller, do they, ruckmen over the day?
No, they don't, and that's well, it'd be interesting to see if that works in their favour. It's a nice tap down there from Agonis after we've been talking him up. Good to see he's looking after the commentators. Jack Maher there for South. It's a good pressure around the footy. Neither side able to really open it up, as Nathan Warren said earlier. Umpire throws it up. Nason. Taken there by Grayson Lester. Back, nice juggling mark taken there by Sam Graham. He's been busy early. Graham loads it up inside 50 for the Tigers. South have got the numbers around it though. They're looking to clear it out. Dangerous. Umpire's found a free kick there, high tackle, and that'll be a relieving free kick there to Grayson Lester.
What I've noticed up here, mate, the South set up really well beyond the ball. They had a +1 behind the ball there. They pulled one out of the stoppage, and he was the guy that impacted that surge. But as we go now, Longford are heading forward with Charlie Taylor into Michael Larby's hands.
Yeah, and, you know, they did set up really well, as you said there, Nathan, but just that errant kick in the back half, and you just can't turn it over there, particularly not with a player of the class of Taylor, and then obviously Larby as the resting ruckman going forward had a size mismatch over Tregurtha there. So Larby will go back and see if he can put the second. Runs around. Larby, no mistake.
And I was going to say it'll be a celebration too.
Absolutely. Doesn't mind a celebration. We saw a bit of that last year. So great goal there from Larby. That moves Longford on to 2 goals straight, 12, and they're leading South Launceston 1-1-7, Nathan. So what are you seeing so far in terms of how the sides have settled?
Yeah, it's ebbing and flowing, isn't it? But we've both alluded to, I'd like to see the ball taken off the line and get it into space and see which side can really transition the ground by foot, keeping control of the ball. But Longford has shown they're really dangerous when the ball goes inside 50.
Yeah, absolutely. So South also dangerous in that forward line, as we've said. Another big punch there from the Tigers, giving their on-ballers first use. But South being good round the on-ball, though. That's a nice pick up there. It was Tigers player couldn't pick up his number. A nice mark taken there across the back line from Daniel Sawford for the Bulldogs. Tigers had the numbers around there, but didn't quite sit for them. Jake Elmer. Good South Launceston name, Tigers. It's going to be all right for them. They rebound. Probably not the best kick. Great pressure around the football there. Ryan Fraser, unlucky not to be rewarded. He's been busy early, Nathan Warren.
Yeah, he's very tenacious, Ryan Fraser. He one thing he will bring is effort and competitiveness. He loves a tackle and he's a tough little footballer.
Tigers with the breeze. Ball bounce favouring there. Lewis picks it up. Drives it in size 50 in the Agonist direction. He competes. Ball bobbling around there. South have got the numbers, should clear it out. Boundary line or a clearance, either or. Picked up there by Jordan Furley. Thought he had all the time in the world. That was a great run-down tackle. Just looking for that player's number there. Makes it hard, that white number on that yellow sash, Nathan. I reckon that's Jacob Madden. Would I be right?
24. You are correct, Rob.
Jacob Madden, just outside 50, giving the Tigers a look at it. Centres the ball. It's all South.
Agonis.
Oh, unlucky. Had 2 or 3 bites at it. Quick kick forward there from the Tigers. South will be happy to see that out. They had the numbers there, South, but didn't he have a great run at it, Agnes there?
Oh, he had a great run and jump at that, and just couldn't get the third bite of the cherry. He had good two look at it.
He did. Look at that on the replay there.
Yeah.
Fortuitous there for the Bulldogs. Agnes in ruck. South got the numbers around. Take it away. Just outside 50. Larby through his hands. He applies a tackle there. The umpire's going to ball that one up. So 16 minutes gone. Longford with a breeze, as we've said, favouring that City end. They're 2 goals straight, 12 South Launceston 1-1-7. Larby against Nason. It's been good, Larby, as you'd expect. South take it away there. All bobbling around. Longford got the numbers through Tom Gatenby's hands. He's down in back play. South trying to get something together here. That's going to be all right for them. That was Charlie Dyer, but that's chopped off only as far there as Dakin.
Yeah, he didn't really need to rush that one, Rob. He could have had a little bit more time, or a handball on the inside of him.
Dakin steady, and he's found a player there. Calamakers. Methodical here from Longford. Longford players run into each other. South can't make them pay though. No talk there, Nathan. The coach wouldn't be happy about that, that's for sure.
Bit of a coach killer, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, voice on the ball. They get that, and I think they were out then.
The opportunity lost. Larby, couple of taps there in the direction of his teammate in Murfitt. Long kick from Murfitt inside 50 in the Agnes direction, but South have got all the numbers there. Ben Tregurtha kicks out to open space. Ball bouncing around in front of Longford player there is asking for deliberate Daniel King.
And he's got it.
And he's got it. Insufficient intent, the umpire has ruled there. And Daniel King, a long-serving Longford Tiger, gets the relieving free kick. He's found nothing but out of bounds on the full on that one. Wasn't his best work, King.
I like the attack Tregurtha just showed there. He left his opponent, Charlie Taylor, and if he didn't gather that, it was probably going for a Longford goal, but he backed it. He impacted the contest. Yeah, got given deliberate, but well done, Tregurtha.
Great play. Long kick in there from Sawford. Chopped off that man Larby. Long kick back inside 50 over Lewis's head. South dropping the numbers back there, gathered there by Rayburn. Lots of Tigers around it though. Sniffing a goal inside 50. Oh, shit's okay for him. Quickly by hand. That's out to Riley Dabner. He's kicked it to the South Launceston defender. So luck's a fortune there for South. Had the numbers around it though. Kept in play there. Luttrell back by hand. Bounces nicely there for the Tigers. Chopped off again. Breaking down across half forward and into that last kick inside 50. The Tigers, Nathan.
They certainly are. It's they're under immense pressure, the South backs, and they're doing a good job of it at the moment.
Through Akers' hands. Only as far as Dylan Page. He kicks to open space. He's got a player on there in Will Elliott. It's going to sit okay for him. Elliott, little chiseler in the Luttrell direction. Luttrell, clever tap. Dakin. Back to Gray. Gray out to Larby. He hacks it forward. Another inside 50. Aganas. He looks dangerous up there, doesn't he?
He certainly does, and when he really comes at the ball like that, he's a hard person to shift off the ball. So if he just keeps presenting like he is now, this probably isn't his forte. But I said this last week, and he kicked through. So he'd be right on his distance, though, Rob.
I reckon he'll be wanting us to be quiet, not say anything, because
he's handed it off.
Curse him.
He's handed it off to Luttrell.
Luttrell's loaded it up,
and Luttrell's gone
back. Sammy Luttrell, with the aid of a breeze behind him. Agnes giving it off. Luttrell relishing that opportunity, driving it through from 50, and that's an important third goal for the Tigers as we approach the 20-minute mark. Longford 3 goals straight, 18. South Launceston 1-1-7, Nathan, and certainly the start Longford were after. Yeah,
Sam Luttrell's probably the last person I would have thought would be coming past for a handball receive and having a shot on goal, but well done, mate. He was really good, and he had the distance there, kicked it from 50. Beautiful goal.
Yeah, I did coach Sam as a junior, Nathan. I can tell you his defensive game was not his forte. He loved going forward and he was a great ruckman. So reward for effort there for Sam. Ball back in the middle and Agnes in the ruck now for the Tigers. Taken away again by South Launceston. They've been good in taking it away, but that Longford defence, Gatenby in there, holding things up. The South Launceston have just broken down a little bit going forward.
Yeah, they are, and it looks like Agarnis has gone in the ruck now, so they keep getting different looks at it with the ruckman they've got at their disposal, which will make it hard for young Nason.
Yeah, he's a bit of a lone wolf there today for the Dogs, isn't he? That's a
Certainly
nice bump.
Bump.
Gives it by hand to his teammate. South looking for something here in the late part of this quarter. That's they're asking for deliberate. It looked deliberate from here, but the umpire not agreeing with me. And you never know these days, Nathan, do you, with those insufficient intent ones? I thought that he didn't disguise that real well, did he?
They do a great job, the umpires, Rob, don't they?
No, they certainly do. Certainly, I'd much rather be up here than doing what they're doing. That's
Absolutely.
for sure. They do a super job. Never make everyone happy. Luttrell tried to take that one out of the air. South trying to crib one late here in the first term to narrow that margin. Longford, on the other hand, have got lots of bodies around the footy. They certainly won't want to concede one. And there's no one in the forward half for the Tigers. Last player's there, Larby, who's just walking up. He's on the wing
Stalking,
position.
isn't he?
He is. Pressure around the footy there from Tregurtha on his Tigers opponent in Murfitt. Dives in. They're asking for the free kick there, the Dogs, and I reckon they've got one. Insufficient intent or holding the ball. Sorry, holding the ball, that should have been, I should say. Yeah, Murfitt asking the question, but the siren's going to win. Tregurtha's going to be having a shot from, he'll kick it probably from 50, Nathan, just on the siren to narrow that gap, kicking into that reasonable breeze. What's your prediction here about Ben Tregurtha?
I'm not going to say he's either going to kick it or miss it, but they need the goal to keep him right in the hunt.
Tregurtha moves in, he's going to kick it from on 50, strikes it
hold
well,
up.
but I think that's a really good one for the viewers, Nathan, on how strong that breeze is.
Yeah, and the sock that he's kicking to, it's just a full-on face. So you'd probably think it's probably maybe a 2-3 goal lead. So the scoreboard's pretty reflective of what that breeze is doing.
So as we head into quarter time, the score, Longford 3 goals straight, 18, South Launceston 117. Goal scorers for Longford, Sam Luttrell, Michael Larby and Charlie Taylor, all with singles, and for South Launceston, Ben Haywood, their only goal scorer at the moment. Just before we switch to an ad, quick summary, Nathan, how do you see that first quarter?
Yeah, really good. I thought some standout plays for that quarter. Sam Graham for Longford really worked hard. We've spoken about his experience. Charlie Taylor, as I alluded to, he's lively up forward, and Larby, his dominance with his size, and then Agarnis really got moving in the later parts of that quarter. Tregurtha was really good, I thought, across half back. Obviously had a shot on goal there at the end of that. Field Reeves is prominent up forward, and I thought Ollie Alexander started really well as a bottom age boy out there. He's a nice size, he covers the ground well, and he's a beautiful kick. So if they can get in his hands off half back, I think they'll be dangerous and can open the game up.
Quarter time, Premier Division Reserves Grand Final, Longford 3 goals straight, 18, South Launceston 117. We'll be back to you shortly.
Harcourts, more than just real estate professionals.
It's a state of mind. Dreaming big. Unearthing possibilities. Identifying potential. We Tasmanians thrive on this. It's what makes us different. It's what drives us to succeed. Together, we can embrace the future. MCMF and us. A state of opportunity.
Hi, I'm Ray Chamberlain, and here are the top reasons why you should become an AFL umpire. You love intellectual conversations.
I know you're not. No, I said and you said no.
Everybody knows you need help with your anger management issues.
We don't talk to one another like that. It's okay.
You just can't keep up with the young ones any longer.
It's run down.
Because you like to get paid to keep fit.
Blow your whistle, show your decision, show your good strong signals, then get on your bike and go.
It's the best game in the world.
Welcome back to University of Tasmania Stadium. I'm Rob Sowd and I'm joined by Nathan Warren for the NTFA Premier Division Reserves Grand Final. And at quarter time, the Longford Tigers, with the aid of that breeze in the first quarter, 3 goals straight, 18. South Launceston 1-1-7. It's great to see community football at its best. Today we've got eight different teams represented, Nathan, which is absolutely fantastic. In the earlier games, we saw Old Scotch over Georgetown in the under-18s. We saw OLs with a boil over the undefeated Bridgenorth. So just terrific to see that depth and breadth in our local community football.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. You just said 8 teams, so I'm not sure if that's obviously first time we've had 8 because with the women in, but it's just great. And a lot of them, the countryside's in, mate, and they bring a lot of people with them. They
do. Terrific community spirit. And when we talk about community, we couldn't do what we do without the proud support of our local community sponsors. Jeremy Wilkinson from Harcourts in Launceston, the Tasmanian Agent of the Year, 5 years running. A big shout out to MCMF, Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund, Launceston and Hobart, and the Athletes Foot in Brisbane Street, Launceston. So again, local businesses supporting local football. Diane Chilcott, Nathan, she's a Tiger supporter. She's saying go Tigers. Thanks, Diane, for joining in the chat. And that's another great thing, Nathan, as we found in the earlier games. People can watch this from anywhere.
Oh, that's great. The first time I've seen that come up. So keep sending the messages in.
Yeah, it's terrific. And I actually was speaking to some guys at the gym yesterday morning who've got to work today. They said to me while we're at work, and I'm not going to name names because their bosses might be listening, they're going to be watching it on the live stream.
Absolutely.
So how good's that?
Yeah, no, it's great how we can do that. People all over the world can tune in, so it's awesome.
People get sick of hearing us, we might turn the mics off and go and watch the live stream, mate, I reckon, and see how we go. But it's great to be back here. Second quarter, South Launceston will have the use of that breeze, which we saw was a factor in the first quarter, particularly with that Tregurtha shot after the siren. So we'll see what's in front of them. Tigers and Bulldogs. Replay of last year's grand final. Luttrell.
So he started in the ruck. He started behind the ball, so he's having a crack in the ruck now.
Taken away by the Dogs. They'll get an inside 50 here early. That's going to sit all right there. That's nice. It bounces well there for Will Bennett. He gives it off. Tie the Dogs. Not even 10 seconds, Nathan.
The crowd tells the story, don't they?
The crowd do tell the story. And that's a fantastic goal. Fantastic goal there. Is that... Didn't see who kicked that. Is it Will Bennett?
51. It's Will Bennett.
Will Bennett. So we had a quick goal to start the first quarter, Nathan, and it was sort of like anything you can do, I can do better. The 8-second.
Yep. Here's the replay. Yeah, Will Bennett, great handball out. Nice shot. And as we look at there, the crowd gets up and about.
Yeah, just to start, the Dogs would have wanted, and shows the importance of that breeze back in the middle. Luttrell and Nason. Interesting to see what happens here. It's going to be okay. Tigers take that one away there. Like Bull in the Lewis direction. Ball bounced awkwardly for him. It's going to sit okay there for Wiggins. Chopped off by Chugg. Tregurtha steady. Kicks back to the contest. Gatenby dropped what he should have taken. Gives it off by hand there to Luke Pearton, the captain. He'll get an inside 50 there for the Tigers. It's all Dogs though. They should run this one out, and they do. Kane Purvis kicking to open space. Boundary line, I reckon, might get this one. Beautifully disguised there by the South Launceston player in Sam Page, pretending he's disappointed that's gone out of bounds. But great start. Great start there to the Dogs. They've 2-1-13, trailing Longford 3 goals straight, 18. Luttrell doing this early ruck work for the Tigers. South have been really, really good at taking it away though, and this time's no exception. Longford have got the numbers around the footy. Racing through there was Fraser trying to keep it in, but Longford defenders happy to see that one out of bounds. Lake Kajiligo having a beer on a 30-degree day. Jock Gibson, that is absolutely fantastic. Jock, thanks for joining us.
Enjoy.
Yeah, I know he would have enjoyed last week, Nathan. He's a
Scotchie.
He's a Scotchie, and his brother played out of Bracknell, so good on you, Jock. You enjoy it. I won't tell that farmer you're not doing what you need to be doing on that tractor. That's a great tackle there, across half forward there for South. And Sam Page, he's been busy early for the Dogs. Great pressure, and he's going to give them a look. Drives this deep inside 50. All Longford though, Dakin. He's been really, really good, Aaron Dakin.
Brother of Jared, I believe. Jared Dakin.
I think so, yeah. Very strong name in Longford circles. Not his best kick. It's going to be all right, though. Graham tapped on cleverly by Luttrell to open space. Dangerous. They need to do something here to get this out. Ben Murphy was in there. Tregurtha toes it off the ground. Diving in there was Longford player. Didn't quite pick up his number, but Tregurtha, he's been really good, hasn't he? He's pressure around the footy, Nathan.
Yeah, he's very busy, mate. He is. Another one who I'm liking at the start of his game is Ben Murphy for Longford. Crucial clearance here at the start after the South goal, and he's getting his hands on the ball a bit. Here he is again with a crucial smuller.
Tregurtha with a big quick kick forward there, carries the pack, bobbling around the dangerous position there. Longford defenders piling in, trying to get it out, cleared out. I think that was Reeves off target. I think that was Reeves.
I think you're right. Yep.
Very dangerous, as Nathan has said, around the goals, but not working for him that time. Second behind of the day for Field Reeves. They move on to 2-2-14. The Longford Tigers 3 goals straight, 18. Taken there by the vice-captain, Tom Cox. He hasn't quite played the million games that Sam Graham's played, but he's played probably half that amount, Tommy. Kings Meadows High boy, Invermay primary teacher and a long-time Longford Tiger. Spills out here. Longford are going to try and take this away through the agency. All right, ball back in. South players calling for a free kick. By balling that up from the half-forward position. Taken out of the air there. Looked like Ben Murphy, as Nathan Warren said, been very busy. Class player. Another long-serving name there at Longford. Greg Murphy, I think, played 300 senior games, played in our Longford Premiership in the 1980s. Bobbling around there on the wing, taken by Chug. All Dogs though. Handball's over the boundary line. Lewis pushes his opponent over, which is ridiculous because the ball was out of bounds. Louis, what are you doing?
Last year's coach, I believe. Coach Longford last year.
I think so, Jared Lewis. Yeah, that's a silly free kick to give away there. There's really no need for that.
They're going to get another kick back though.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Might have just been touched as it went over the line there. Luke Pearton and his opponent. Watching while touring Parliament House, Lorne Ganninan. There's a Longford name from way back. Thanks, Lorne. I reckon we're a bit more exciting here, Nathan, than Parliament House. What do you reckon?
No comment, Rob. No comment.
We got the microphone, so we might say we are. Luttrell takes it out of the air, gives away a free kick to his opponent there in Caleb Nason. He's done a good job.
He's done a great. I was just about to comment, mate. He's done a really good job. I alluded to the fact that he's up against 4 ruckmen, and he's really toiling away. He'll
sleep well tonight, irrespective of what the result is. Tigers defence holding firm at the moment. Taken there by Murphy. We've called his name a few times today.
He's been good.
Ben Murphy, one of the key playmakers from the Tigers off half back.
He's Larby.
It's Larby injecting himself into the game, that awkward kicking style. And he's found teammate in Chug. Chug in the Lewis direction. Ball unfortunately doesn't sit for him. South looking to get that out of there. Ollie Alexander under pressure and wrapped up. Lewis.
Still waiting for the first side that really wants to take the ball off the line and try and just open the game up a little bit. It's just ebbing and flowing down that far side, mate, on that riverside.
Yeah, we're not seeing much real estate here close to us. Bobbling around there, picked up there by Fraser. And that's a great tackle. Move it on quickly there. Charlie Ball gives it out to Luttrell. South defence holding up. It's a battle of the defences at the moment. The defence is working really well under pressure. It's a bit of a wild handball there from Connor Wiggins. Chug. Larby.
Just got the injury of Fraser on the screen now.
Yeah.
He's got a bit of a knee strapped up there. I'm not sure if it's just an existing... Yeah, it looks like he's hurt his knee again, or he's coming off the ground now.
Hopefully he's okay. He's been busy early, Fraser. Like his attack on the footy. Owen, Larby, back to Larby. Kick forward in the Dabner direction. Kicked out of there, hacked out of there by the Dogs. Ball just not sitting for the South player there in Bennett, the goal scorer a moment ago. Umpire's picked out a free kick here.
It's too high to Luttrell. I think he got taken high, and it's...
He did pretty well there.
You're going well if you're taking Sam Luttrell high.
Yeah, Nico Kruger, he's about half his size. So
Grab the step ladder out.
He did. Good vertical jump, I think. Sammy Luttrell.
So they've started Tony Agarnis on the Pine, and we know how he finished that quarter, so I'm keen to see when they're going to get him back on, because he was a good target there.
Player taken high. Fighting for the football there, that was Dakin. Yeah, you made the point, which I think will be a factor during this game, Nathan, that South have got a bit of a lone wolf ruck set up with Nason, so he's going to have 4 opponents through the day, so the Garners coming on later or pushing forward is going to be certainly dangerous.
Absolutely. And I suppose when you got Larby here, well marked.
That's a really nice mark. He's done really well there, Connor Wiggins. Yeah, really nice mark.
Played really well, had a really good under-18 season, Connor. He's a prospect boy.
Doesn't quite sit there for his teammate in Jake Elmer. But he's been busy back there, Wiggins, and he's had to be with those rotating tools, as we've called through there.
Generally plays as a ruckman too in underage level, so I'm not sure how much experience he's had down back, but he's doing a great job so far.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. That Longford forward line, probably different type of potency to the South one, but they've got the height there, as you've said. It's a kick out of defence there by the Bulldogs, and that's in the Jack Maher direction, clears off his hands. Dogs have still got the numbers around it, just can't quite pick it up. Bit fumbly, you wonder whether it's just a sticky ball. We had a bit of drizzle here earlier, or whether it's just that grand final pressure, Nathan.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It looks like a bit hazy out over the mountains over there, Rob, but I think it's quite dry out there now, so it might just be a bit of a wind factor possibly. Or nerve, sorry, as you alluded to.
Yeah, and that pressure too. You know, the big game of the year, 9 months worth of hard work to get here, and a replay last year where the Bulldogs will be desperate for a different outcome.
Absolutely.
Probably a draw that time between the ruckmen. He's doing a great job there, Nason. Tregurtha, we've called his name a few times, the vice-captain. He's been really good around the footy as well. All making its way over towards us. Graham.
Great tap.
High free kick there, I reckon that'll come back, and that's Murphy. Usually find him in and around the footy. High tackle there on him. He's going to try and give his forward something to look at in the Larby direction, but off track, and a boundary throw in.
So Garnis is back on the field now, so Larby probably take the ruck work, and now Tony will probably play more as a forward.
10.5 minutes gone in this Premier Division Reserves Grand Final. Longford 3 goals straight, 18 leading South Launceston 2-2-14. Ruckman lock up. South have been really good again, as I said, around the clearance. But, Mark dropped what he should have taken there. Pearton doesn't quite sit for him, ducks the tackle. He's going to give his forwards a look at it inside 50 in the Larby direction. All Dogs around the ball though. They should run this one out. Nason shrugs the tackle. Handballs to no one in particular. South player held without it.
It's being paid, yep.
Umpire's right on the ball, doing a great job. Just hung on him a fraction too long. Yeah, Page, he's been really busy for them back there.
Another prominent name at South Launceston, isn't it, Page?
Yeah, it is. Haven't there been some great Pages play some good footy there. Kings lumbering after this one. It's going to sit okay though there for the Bulldogs through Jack Maher. Inside 50. Tigers spoil each other. Luttrell trying to tidy it up. He's got Bulldogs surrounding him, but shows a bit of composure. Long kick. Umpire's found the free kick.
Too high.
Crowd not happy with that one, but I think it was there to Tregurtha. You put your head over it and you compete, and you're always going to get those sorts of free kicks. Rewarded for effort there, Ben Tregurtha. Gives his teammates a look at it. And that's a fantastic pass to Haywood. Really dangerous on the lead, Haywood. And as you've said, Nathan, in the call, it's a dangerous south forward line, isn't it?
Yeah, he's probably a hard matchup, mate, because he's sort of that medium size, but looks like he can play tall. Yeah, look at that. He great separation on his defender. But he can sort of play tall, plus that, he's dangerous when the ball's on the ground as well.
He's always been one of those players, Ben Haywood. He always plays bigger than what he is. So he moves in. He's going to want to kick this for the Dogs.
He's nailed it.
Strikes it beautifully. And that's South Launceston into the lead with the aid of this breeze. They're using it to their advantage. They move on to 3-2-20, leading Longford 3 goals straight, 18, Nathan.
And he's got 2 of them, Ben Howard with 2 and Will Bennett with 1. So, like you said, they look dangerous when they go forward. Longford are more just doing that bombing and hoping their tools do the work. But South's defenders are doing it well by bringing it to ground, and then their small rebounding defenders getting hold of the ball. So 2 different sort of styles that we're seeing. And at the moment, South have just pushed ahead by 2 points.
They're also not getting the reward for effort, the Tigers, around that ruck dominance. I mean, you've made that great point. They're really rucking in tandem against the South Launceston ruckman. But they'll get a takeaway now. The commentator's curse. Luttrell drives them deep into attack in the Agonist direction, goes through his hands. Got the numbers around the footy, the Dogs. They'll be trying to kick it out. Quick kick forward there from Larby. Oh, offline. Don't often see the tall play the crummer, but Larby, very enterprising there, Nathan Warren.
Well, I was more fascinated by the clearance of Sam Luttrell. The ruck, and then he's exploded out of the stoppage.
It's like that primary school stuff, isn't it, where you get it out of the ruck and tap it to yourself.
And Tony owned the fall of the ball there really well. Just didn't have the smalls at his feet. And here they go again.
I'll get another look at it, driven deep inside there. Argonis. Longford players asking for a free kick. And the umpire's found one. Insufficient intent.
Charlie Taylor. And this guy does know how to kick a goal.
I think you referenced him earlier, didn't you? You talked
about
his love for a goal. We'll see what he's got up his sleeve now. He hasn't got a lot of daylight to work with. No. Always offline. And that takes the Tigers, I think that's probably going to be all square, I reckon.
So.
3-2-20 apiece.
We'll wait for the scoreboard to catch up.
14 and a half minutes gone in this second quarter. Rob Soward and Nathan Warren joining you from UTAS Stadium for the Premier Division NTFA Reserves Grand Final. Hard to separate them at the moment. South players spoil each other. Pearton drives it in. South defence under siege in the last few minutes. Handball to no one in particular. Good pressure around the footy though. Just not being able to get the handle on it.
Oh.
Quick kick forward. I think that was touched off the boot. No, it was okay. It's a nice mark taken
Alexander.
Back there by Alexander. Ollie Alexander, another South name.
Yeah, Drew Alexander's boy.
Yeah, played a lot of footy there and very reliable over the years, only as far as Graham. Chops off. Tigers looking dangerous here, although they've mucked that one up. I didn't see what that was for. Was it a holding?
I didn't see that, mate. I was looking at the
free kick, maybe.
He's got 50. They paid 50 anyway, whatever it was.
Oh, dear. Jacob Madden taken from right on the 50, maybe for not returning the ball to him. Jacob Madden taken from right on 50 to...
I think it was Will Elliott, the way they're going, Longford boys are going over and getting into him.
Yeah, so pushed him off the footy, so the free kick's there. He might have said something to the umpire. So, from point blank range, Jacob Madden puts his first of the ball on the board, and that's a much needed goal for Longford into the breeze, Nathan Warren. 16 minutes gone in this second term. Longford move on to 4-2-26, South Launceston 3-2-20.
Yeah, it certainly is, mate. And again, I'm just alluding to these the way they're shifting their tools around. So now Sam Graham is playing behind the ball. Luttrell's done a bulk of the work in the ruck. You've got Larby and Aganis up forward. And I said big fellas don't get any smaller as the day goes on. So I think they'll just keep trying to get it up to them and letting their smalls go to work at their feet.
Yeah, two very different forward lines as you've highlighted. Those tall players going forward, and South with probably a bit more of a Swiss Army knife approach, different looks and very dangerous nonetheless. Ball back in the middle of the ground. Luttrell's wrapped up his Bulldogs opponent there in Will Elliott. Lee Bresendale, Karen Lewis and Shane Lewis watching the game from Two Rocks, Western Australia. Keep up the great commentary. Go Tigers. Thanks very much, Lee, Karen and Shane. Keep sending us nice messages like that, and that Lewis name doing you proud. And just on cue,
right on cue.
He's taken the mark.
Great kick.
Chips back into the middle towards Sam Luttrell. Luttrell, he's been really busy for the Tigers. Tigers players almost sort of spoil each other there, but that's going to be all right though. Taken there. Attack.
So what the Tigers are doing... Sorry, we'll just watch this replay. Oh, bit of a collision. Friendly fire there. What the Tigers, I think, are doing really well, they're keeping the ball in motion. They're not slowing up with it. Once they get it forward to centre, they're just keeping the ball going. They're not peeling back off their mark and slowing it up. The ball's just constantly in motion and making it a bit manic for the South defenders.
Yeah, I'm just looking. South number 23 there. He's not on my list. So,
no.
Chug gives it off there to Pearton. Pearton in the Larby direction, and as Nathan Warren has said all day, they don't get any shorter. Larby drifts forward. He's been in the ruck, he's gone forward, and he's taken a really, really nice mark there.
Own the drop there. Ollie Alexander really had no hope there against Larby.
Bigger body. So Larby's going to line up to try and add to the Tigers' score and kick their fifth. Approaching 19 minutes. He'll hit this one from probably on 50 when he lets it go, just inside 50 when he lets it go. Not sure, so I'm not going to make any predictions. Strikes it, goes across the face. It's like he'll be saying that's a pass. Chug. Well, he'll be saying that's a pass, Larby, I reckon.
Yeah.
But I mean, how you can leave a player with Chug's experience and now Nathan Warren alone there like that, that's a bad defensive error from the Dogs. He's going to run around Chug.
He's nailed it.
He's made no mistake from there. So that's another one to the Tigers. They move on to 5-2-32. South Launceston 3-2-20. He's not on our list either.
No, he's not. It's
real nightmare here for the commentators.
We're
I'll give
writing
you
them down
the
left, right and centre, aren't we?
Yeah, we're making it up as we go along here. But do you sort of get a feeling, Nathan, in the last few minutes, you've highlighted that high size advantage. Do you think that's what's helping them get on top, the Tigers?
I just think like South look really good in patches, but they just they drop off, they go to sleep that 1 second, and Longford tend to just take hold of them a bit. But it definitely does help that they can just have different looks, they get different taps. They're playing with the same midfielders, but it's hard for young Nason, and again, he's doing a great job.
He's got the first hand on it there to give the Dogs a look at it. Ball bobbling forward there. Through Ben Murfitt's hands. Collision, bit of friendly fire. Dogs are going to have a look at it.
Jack
Marr drifting forward and taking a nice mark. Mizzy.
I guarantee you won't pass it off.
No, he wouldn't have passed it off back in grade 10 either, mate, and he wouldn't change now, Jack Marr. South Launceston senior coach still playing still playing reserves footy, which is great. Moves in, and a kick from about 40. Not going to work back for him, I don't think.
Alexander, bad luck.
Alexander got the first hands on, but desperate defence there from the Tigers, seeing that one through. Approaching 21 minutes in the Premier Division Reserves Grand Final. South Launceston 3-3-21, Longford 5-2-32. Alexander's going to get another look at it. So high tackle. Yeah, fortuitous. Will Elliott. If he hadn't got the high tackle, it would have been holding the ball probably, because he got swamped there by Tigers. But good courage from Elliott, good awareness, and copped a high one there. Longford player asking the question, saying what was that for, but I think it was there, Tom Cox. Important shot for Elliott, just to wrest that bit of initiative back and use that breeze. Not his best work, all Tigers.
I think he was...
Oh,
he's done well there because I thought he was gone. He was off to the races.
He didn't pull up there, Benny Barker. Larby saying slow it down. He's had a look at the clock.
So he's gone back in the ruck by the look of where he is on the ground now.
Tom Cox, the vice-captain. So he's got the new fresh fade for today. Tommy Cox, long kick off half-back in the Argonaut direction.
Great effort. Connor Wiggins.
Connor Wiggins sort of claimed it. He fooled Argonaut into thinking he marked that, but...
we can't see him on the street. You can see his sock.
There's all Tigers around him. But that's half-time here in the NTFA Premier Division Reserves Grand Final. Longford 5-2-32 leading South Launceston 3-3-21. The single goal scorers for the Tigers, Ben Chug, Sam Luttrell, Michael Larby, Charlie Taylor and Jacob Madden. And for the Bulldogs, Ben Hayward with 2 and Will Bennett with 1. A quick summary, Nathan Warren, before we head off to our half-time commitments. But what are you seeing in this first half of footy?
Yeah, well, again, it's shaping up to be a cracker game, and obviously Longford in front by that by the margin at the moment. But some players have stood out. I think Ollie Alexander will have a bit of impact as the game goes on. He's been good without being really dominant. I just like the way when he's got the ball in hand, something's going to happen. Sam Page, we spoke about, really stepped up for South End. Field Reeves, although being quiet that quarter, is still dangerous when the ball's inside 50. But again, I like the tools for Longford. They're dangerous. They're hard to match up on. In Sam Graham, Tony Aganis, Michael Larby, Sam Luttrell, and they've got another one in Calamackers, who's 194 centimetres himself. So it's tough, and they look dangerous when the ball's inside 50, and those tools are just bringing it to ground.
Great summary, thank you, Nathan Warren. Half time here at UTAS Stadium. Rob Soward and Nathan Warren. Longford 5-2-32, the reigning premiers, against the side they vanquished last year. South Launceston 3-3-21. All in front of us. Look forward to welcoming you back after half time.
Harcourts, more than just real estate professionals.
It's a state of mind. Dreaming big, unearthing possibilities, identifying potential. We Tasmanians thrive on this. It's what makes us different. It's what drives us to succeed. Together, we can embrace the future. MCMF and us. A state of opportunity.
Hi, I'm Ray Chamberlain, and here are the top reasons why you should become an AFL umpire. You love intellectual conversations.
I know you're not. No, I said. And you said no.
Everybody knows you need help with your anger management issues.
We don't talk to one another like that. It's okay.
You just can't keep up with the young ones any longer.
It's run down.
Because you like to get paid to keep fit.
Blow your whistle, show your decision, show your good strong signals, then get on your bike and go.
It's the best game in the world.
Welcome back to the University of Tasmania Stadium, NTFA Premier Division Reserves Grand Final. Longford Tigers at half-time, 5-2-32, South Launceston 3-3-21. I'm Rob Soward and I'm joined by Damien Rind, who's taken over from Nathan Warren. We're obviously running a bit of interchange on the commentary team today. Michael Maney's in the hyperbaric chamber, getting ready for the big one later this afternoon between the Rochalee Tigers and the Hillwood Sharks. But welcome, Damien, and it's been a really interesting first half. I know you've been watching downstairs, but two different forward lines. South a bit more, I guess, unpredictable. Longford a bit more predictable with their tools. But how have you seen the first half of footy unfold, bearing in mind the Tigers are up at the moment by 11 points?
Yeah, thanks for the introduction, Rob. Appreciate that. Yeah, look, I think through the first half, Longford's key position players and big men have been really valuable, and they've been able to place them across the ground. And as you alluded to, the unpredictability of South's forward line, and if conditions deteriorate a little bit, might work in their favour. But I just noticed South running out for the second half, and the Longford crowd was happy to give them a bit of a Bronx cheer on the way out. So it was nice to see country footies up and about, which is fantastic. Yeah,
we've talked a lot today, Damien, about community football, and I know obviously your involvement with the NTFA, and it's just fantastic. 8 teams in the games today. We've got people from all over the place, from Hillwood, from Longford, from Rochalee, from South Launceston, Georgetown obviously in the earlier game, Old Scotch, I mean Bridgenorth. It's just fantastic to have people interested in community footy.
It is, Rob, and it's like you highlighted, it's fantastic that there's different teams through all games today. It involves all communities from those where those clubs are based, and gives the supporters a chance to come along and support their team. And as an NTFA, we're really happy with the result. To have so many teams spread across the competition on the last day is fantastic.
Well, it's all in front of us, a half a footy to play after 9 months of hard work, and the umpire throws the ball up. Larby, as he's done most of the day, getting first hand on it, and as they've done most of the day, South Launceston seem to be able to get their hands on it around the stoppage. So all to play for. Longford with the aid of that breeze playing towards the city end of the ground. Quick kick out there on the wing position, bouncing in front of Tom Gayton. He was busy in the first quarter, didn't see much of him in the second. His hand passed back to no one, but Graham picks that up and throws it onto the left boot. Boundary line, I reckon it's going to... I thought the boundary line was going to win there, and it sort of took a bit of an off break, and Tregurtha was hoping to keep it in. Tregurtha certainly one of South's best in that first half, Damien. He was in everything. He's having a laugh there with Chug, who kicked a late goal there for the Tigers.
Yeah, he certainly has played well in the first half, Rob, and look forward to a good second half from him also.
Larby and Nason. Dogs trying to clear the area. Bit of an up and under kick there from Jordan Thurley. Bounce doesn't suit anyone. That's the great thing about this Aussie rules footy. Just doesn't sort of sit nicely always. The umpire's picked out a free kick. The Longford crowd right in front of us here are liking that. And that's taken there by Sam Gray, who moves the ball quickly back in the Chug direction.
It was a smart kick there by Sam. South had dropped numbers back.
Aganis. Ball is going to sit for Lewis possibly. Lewis picks it up, throws it on the left. Oh, hits the post. He would have been talking about that one for the next 6 months, Jared Lewis, if that had gone through. He was Johnny on the spot there. Unlucky hitting the post on that occasion.
No, great effort on the left boot. Non-preferred foot by Johnny Lewis.
Early brings it back into play. Finds Daniel Sawford. He's been good back there today for them, Sawford. They've been under siege a bit, the South defence. Good structure though. Goes back to Thurley. Thurley goes wide off hands, out of bounds off Alex Lyons' hands.
That was good. Great switch of play. Lateral for Longford was down the side on this line.
There's a great Longford name, Chris Criconia, watching from the Gold Coast. Damien, I'm sure you remember Crackers watching from the Gold Coast. A bit warmer, Chris, up there, I'm sure, than it is here today.
Yeah, definitely.
Nason battling on there to keep it in front of him. Dyer, he's in there, gives it out. Dogs trying to set something up. Sawford. Ball bobbling around. Dakin, held without it possibly. He's been good back there for Longford. In and under. Great to see Ryan Fraser back out there too. He landed awkwardly on his knee. He was very busy in that first half, Damien, and good to see he's back out after half time there for South Launceston.
That's certainly fantastic that he's still out there.
Tigers have got the numbers around the footy. Sort of looking like they were waiting for someone else to pick it up. They were all looking at each other there. Sam Graham's indicated he's going to take this one against Nason. Dogs trying to find a way to crib a couple of goals back here. Early stages of this third term.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to continue to be a little bit tight because the numbers are even at both ends of the ground and there doesn't seem to be anyone sitting behind the ball.
Tigers battling in there. Murphy, I think, that is on the bottom of the pack. Maybe not. It's that player who's not in our program. So we might, someone might let us know in the chat who that is. Number 23 for the Longford Tigers, causing us all sorts of nightmares, Damien, these programs when they don't put the numbers in them for us.
Yeah, it certainly is challenging. If you haven't been to the games all year, it's difficult to figure out who it is.
Michael Larby fan club, they're watching from Queensland and everywhere. Larby best on in the grand final last year, the senior grand final. It's been really, really good here today too, and he's in the action here at the moment. South trying to clear it out. Chug, little clever toe there, gets around Tregurtha. Ollie Alexander's planted that one out on the full, so Sam Graham will take the relieving free kick there for the Longford Tigers. Trying to... No. He's giving
going to Chug.
He's going to Chug.
I mean, credit to Mike Larby. He's been had a serious injury through the middle of the year where he broke both bones in his arm, and he's been able to come back and have an impact on the game.
Furley,
great.
Just getting time to get that one away. They're only as far as Dyer. Dogs are going to move it out. That's okay. Back to Dyer. Little chip kick, and he's found his teammate. He's off to the races there, Jake Elmer. Trying to create something in attack here for South Launceston. The ball's going to carry. It's going to sit all right there for Will Bennett. Kicked a goal earlier. Bennett goes back in board of no one in particular. Graham dives in. Dakin juggling. Fraser's in there for the Dogs. Dakin butters up. Good pressure. Ooh, Tiger taken there, ridden into the ground. Everyone's calling holding the ball. I don't know if he had enough time there to get rid of it, Jai Lavelle.
Look, that was great by Sam Graham. The traditional ruckman sitting back in the hole, covering that kick inside.
Will Murphy's got his own fan club there. Michael Booth, thank you for your artwork. On the emojis on that one, he's got the double guns up there. I don't know if Murph's arms are that big, but anyway, he'll take it.
Now we know who number 23 is.
Yeah, thanks for letting us know. We love that when the community get involved and help the commentators out.
Just having a look behind the ball here, we can see South Launceston's got one spare set up in the next group of players, sitting about 40 metres off the play, so Longford will be looking to handball out from the stoppage.
Can do battle again. It's a bit of a nation versus the world approach, and he's surrounded now. That's going to be holding the ball. He's had a really, really good game though, Nason. They're just trying to wear him down with those different tools they're rotating through there. And that's chopped off. He's been really good back there too for the Bulldogs, Daniel Sawford. We've called his name a lot today. Sawford's picked out a teammate, and that's a nice pass. He's moved that on quickly. Not sitting for his teammate though. Back to Sawford. Smothered. Umpire said that's a throw. Played advantage there to the Tigers. Not really sure how much advantage they had, but anyway, that's all right. Charlie Taylor, that's not his best work, and chopped off there by Connor Wiggins, who's been very good back there for the Bulldogs. Good match up with a Garnis there. Well, that's not his best kick either.
Dangerous kick inside.
Sawford ridden into the ground. Wiggins. Bit of a comedy of errors here at the moment. Lots of pressure around the footy. The umpires picked a free kick out, said that's a high one. And that'll be a free kick there to be taken by Nico Kruger. Kruger moves it on quickly. He's had a couple of Bulldogs teammates but kicked it straight to the Tiger. Luttrell in there for the Tigers, battling away. He gives the ball to the umpire. 8 minutes gone in this third term. Longford 5-3-33, South Launceston 3-3-21. Rob Sowd and Damien Ryan to your commentators. Nathan Warren has left us at half-time. I reckon he's down having a Fanta and a hot dog or something, enjoying himself. Thank you, Nathan, for your contribution today. Luttrell in the ruck now for the Dogs, for the Tigers, against Nason for the Dogs. Lots of bodies around the footy, Damien. It's really it's not an entertaining game to watch, is it? It's just that body around the footy, keep it in tight, and then see what happens.
Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of open play, Rob, and it is very tight around the contest. As you can see at the moment, or we can see, there's plenty of numbers around this contest. The ball's been thrown up, and we've got another stoppage. So we'll see the ruckmen nominate themselves and go at it again.
Tuning in from Coober Petey, Rhiannon Sainty, thank you so much for joining us, celebrating your friend's birthday. Many happy returns. Rhiannon, on behalf of us here in the commentary team, and enjoy your day in Coober Petey.
Yeah, Coober Petey's a great spot. She's probably watching from underground somewhere in one of the buildings they have up there.
It's an interesting part of the country, isn't it?
It is. It's fantastic.
Dogs there through Lions. He's handballing to open space. Nico Heyman leading in the race of it. Race for the ball. Tigers players around it. Graham this time gives it off by hand back to Fraser. Sorry to his teammate. I've lost his number there. That's off hands.
It's out of bounds, and the umpire will be throwing this one in on the far wing.
I think that might have been one of our players who we didn't have a number for, but anyway, that's all right. Graham back into the ruck this time. Mason takes it away. Kicks to the out number and off the hands of the senior coach, Jack Maher, playing in the reserves here today.
And helped out by Luttrell there to force the ball over the line.
You do wonder how fitness will take a toll here, Damien, as this game goes on. I think the big ground certainly sorts them out, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and Longford, they're top heavy. They've got a few big guys out there, so it'll be interesting once we get to the last term to see what South can bring to the table.
Tregurtha to open space. Gatenby. He goes back in board there. Tigers trying to set something up, but off the captain Luke Pearton's hand. And we've had several possessions and we're still in the same spot on the ground. We're approaching 11 minutes in the third quarter here. Rob Sowd and Damien Ryan, NTFA Premier Division Reserves Grand Final. Longford 5-3-33, South Launceston 3-3-21. Graham down to Luttrell.
Oh, he's got onto that. Larby's chasing after the ball. And a handball from South, taken up by Rachel Lee. There you go, Longford. Sorry, the country Tigers, not the city Tigers.
It's okay, he's gone back in board there in the direction of his teammate. Thrown on the boot there quickly by Dabner. High ball Aganis. He's exciting, that Aganis, isn't he, Damien? He just looks the part when he's around the footy, doesn't he?
He does. He's a very good sized young fella. Larby with his ruck dominance, tamped down to... Oh, I'm not quite sure who had that snap at goal, but that was a great snap on the left foot from Longford.
Here's the replay. You just sort of see that fly from Aganis there over Lewis. He just imposes himself on the contest. Furley bringing it back in for the Dogs.
Beautiful kick.
He's found a teammate there in Elliott. Elliott trying to set something up, but luck's a fortune. The bounce doesn't quite sit for that Longford player. Luttrell in there. Lots of handballs to space, Barker. Charlie Bull in there. That's to Graham.
On the left boot and just drops it inside the boundary line for a throw-in.
Bit of a Jonathan Thurston finds touch on that one.
Yes.
So, Damien, I know you've had a fair bit of coaching experience over the years. What would you be doing if you're South Launceston at the moment, just to try and get back into this game? Because they're really not troubling the scorer.
I guess from a South Launceston perspective, if they've got a possession, a mark or something like that, I'd be looking for a handball receive to try and create a little bit of run, to try and get Longford to chase a little bit more, rather than just sort of kicking longer, which suits Longford's bigger key defenders and targets. So probably run the ball, Rob, I'd say.
Yeah, it's a real arm wrestle. I mean, we what are we at? We've just gone 13 minutes, and it's not looked like South are going to cause any trouble. In fact, I don't think we've had a goal kick this. We haven't had a goal kick this quarter, have we?
No, you're right, Rob. I think we've only had 2 points kicked this quarter to Longford, but no major at this point.
They've got to generate that run, as Damien Rind has suggested, but Luttrell burst through there, trying to give his forwards a look at it in the Larby direction. And we've talked all game about how they've got those tools they can play through. So Luttrell's now back in the ruck. Larby's gone forward. They've got Sam Graham playing around the footy. A fellow we mentioned a little bit earlier, not that we've seen a whole, Tony Aganis, we've mentioned him. There's a fellow we haven't seen a lot of, Callum Akers, again a good size. So there he is around the foot. It's always good when they do that. Akers, shot on goal. I think it's carried. Callum Akers. Well, we'd sort of said that, not much going on. As soon as we mentioned Akers, he pops up. People will be messaging us, Damien, asking us to mention him every 30 seconds or something.
Well, especially if they're going for Longford. And, as we've seen in the AFL the last couple of weeks, Akers at Carlton has been influential in the last part of the 2 games as well. So if Akers is going to have a say, then it'll be him today.
No, actually, I don't think that was Akers.
Right, we're just double checking.
So someone will let us know. I don't think that was Akers. It's number. Anyway, someone will let us know.
Apologies if it wasn't Akers.
Here we go.
34, is it?
Yeah, I haven't.
Or 24. 24. Jacob Madden could be.
24. Jacob Madden. That's 24. Jacob Madden, and that's his second goal for the day. So excitement there for the Akers fans. A little bit tricky sometimes seeing those numbers. So that's Jacob Madden's second goal for today. So much needed goal for the Longford Tigers. 6-4-40. South Launceston 3-3-21. Rob Sowd and Damien Rind here in the NTFA Premier Division Reserves Grand Final.
And Longford have won the clearance and they've got it out here to the half-forward flank. Young Ollie Alexander put his head over the ball and has won himself a free kick. So good courage there shown by him.
Yeah, King was unfortunate there. There certainly wasn't much in that. His football was his objective. But anyway, South desperately trying to set something up, and to say they need a goal, Damien, is probably the understatement of the day. They just haven't looked like it into the breeze this term.
Yeah, you're right, Rob. And the ball's out of play now. There was 3 Longford players tackling that South player over the line, and I think that last goal has really given them a lift in effort. So we'll see how they go through the last 5 or 6 minutes in the third quarter.
Well, something's for sure tonight. Caleb Nason is going to sleep very, very well, because he's had another ruckman change onto him now. He's coming away there for Ollie Alexander, trying to generate something for South. Fraser in there. He was really busy early, went off with that bit of a knee, but back out there after half time, and they're just not being able to find anything South at the moment.
No, they have no fluency or continuity in possession.
Chris Aikenfall, does Damien Ryan take credit for teaching everything South Jordan Furley knows about being his first senior coach? So that's put you in the hot seat there, Damien.
Well, it has, and Chris Aikenfall was otherwise known as the Sloth out at Perth when I was coaching football out there, and he's a great mate of Jordan Furley, and Jordan's dad has also been a fantastic footballer across the NTFA for many years.
Scott Furley, I presume.
Scott Furley, yes, you're right. Apologies.
Oh, great mark taken there in defence. Wiggins, he's been really, really good back there today for South Launceston. He's had a tough job. The ruckmen have been changing onto him. A great mark in that situation. So that's a nice kick out there.
There's a good mark by South out there from number 16, who is
Lyons. But unfortunately, he's turned it over, Damien, and it's gone back here now. Tigers are going to have another look at it. Aganis run under the ball. People are calling for holding the ball there against Jacob Madden. I don't know. I don't think he had any prior opportunity of getting rid of that one.
That's right. And Jacob's a great young up-and-coming player in our competition. Just fresh out of the under-18s last year.
Big fly there from Alexander over Aganis.
Yeah, I wasn't sure whether that one should be a free kick or not, Rob, but the umpires let it go, so we continue to play. DP Bell Chambers has picked up the ball. He puts it forward for Longford, and it dribbles out of bounds in front of Larbies.
You sort of get the feeling that this game's getting away a little bit from South. Damien, you mentioned a moment ago that momentum sort of changing a little after that last Longford goal. South certainly haven't looked like scoring too often this quarter.
No, it's spent a lot of time down in the Longford forward line as we see a throw in the Longford forward at the moment. Aganis is in the ruck, taps it down. Alexander picks it up, and we'll have another ball up where I assume Aganis will go in the ruck again. So
time ticking away here in this third term. Longford 6-4-40, South Launceston 3-3-21. 19 points to difference, but it feels like a bit more than that on the scoreboard. Aganis is tackled there. South fans crying, holding the ball. Umpire saying that's a throw-in. So South will have the wind in the last quarter. The breeze has certainly been a factor here today, but they've got a bit to do.
They have got a bit to do, and like I said, I think they need to create a bit of run, maybe maintain a bit of possession, and just move away from kicking the ball long all the time, which is certainly favouring Longford, as I suggested before.
They've just struggled to get something going, haven't they?
They have.
You sort of watch the ball come out and you sort of think, they'll get away, and they're a good running side at South Launceston as well, but Longford just not allowing that to happen.
That's right.
Larby, quick kick forward. It's going to be out of bounds on the full, and it'll take a bit of heat out of the Dogs. The Dogs certainly won't want to concede another goal here before three-quarter time, because that might be a bridge too far for them in that last term. They're already down by 3 goals. You wouldn't certainly want to be trailing by 4 when you've only kicked 3 in 3 quarters. So not long to go here in the third term.
Ball's been brought back in by Sawwood for South Launceston and kicked towards the 50. And a good mark for Longford there by Tom Gatenby. So well done to Tom. He's looking to put it in towards the hot spot. Oh, it's come straight off the side of his boot. Lateral's there, the big guy, he's picked it up. And his season campaign had done the smart thing, just held the ball to keep the ball on Longford's forward line.
Dom Sheegog watching from the Star Bar, a very, very good watering hole in Launceston, Dom. I hope you're having a good time there. Hope you're there with a few friends, and glad to see you enjoying the footy.
Okay, the umpire's going to throw the ball up again. We've got Lateral going up against Nason. Lateral's just moved Nason out of the way and tapped it into space. Ball's in dispute. Fraser's coming at it. South Launceston win the ball and chip it forward towards Larby, who's now sitting behind the ball for Longford. So it looks like Longford may have shut up shop a little bit for the last few minutes to secure their lead into three-quarter time, Rob.
Yeah, I think you're right, Damien, and they've got all the time in the world now. They've got the scoreboard on their side. That's a great mark taken there for them by Riley Dabner. He plays on quickly. Dabner gives them a look at it. Aganis is in there. Bulldogs defenders under siege again. Steady though, quick kick forward. Not sure if that's going to sit.
No. But, and it landed out there in the middle of the 2 season campaigners, Larby and Sammy Graham, sitting behind the ball. So, maybe South needs to roll people up to create that contest there, to create a 50-50, Rob.
Well, the Siren has emerged victorious, Damien, in that situation. And at this stage, it's Longford, the reigning premiers, 6-4-40, South Launceston 3-3-21. I'll quickly go through the goal scorers. For Longford, Jacob Madden with 2. Singles to Charlie Taylor, Michael Larby, Sam Luttrell and Ben Chugg. And for South, Ben Hayward with 2 and Will Bennett with 1. So we're going to head into three-quarter time, very quickly I'm going to throw over to you, Damien, before we go to our ads. You've got the magnet board in front of you for South Launceston. I'm going to ask you, what do you do as coach in this last quarter to get them over the line?
I guess I don't think they really have to throw a lot of magnets around, Rob. I think it's really just their style of play. They really need to change their style of play and adapt it more to their game. They're being drawn into the way Longford would like to play. And like I've suggested a couple of times, if they can get a couple of quicker breaks with a handball receive and out into some open space and make some of these Longford big guys do a bit of running, I think that'll help them bridge the gap. But, sitting 19 points down, and as you highlighted, they've kicked 3 goals for the game. It's going to be a massive ask, even with the win in the last quarter, to bring this one home. They'll need to kick, I would suggest at least 5 goals to win the game. And Longford, if they want to secure the game, I think if they can kick a couple, that'll put it to bed.
Thank you, Damien Ryan. Great insight. Today's NTFA Premier Division Grand Finals are proudly brought to you by Jeremy Wilkinson from Harcourts in Launceston, Tasmania's Agent of the Year 5 years running, MCMF, Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund, Launceston and Hobart, and the Athletes Foot Brisbane Street, Launceston. We're going to leave you for a few moments at three-quarter time. At the moment, Longford 6-4-40, South Launceston 3-3-21. See you back after the break.
Harcourts, more than just real estate professionals.
It's a state of mind. Dreaming big, unearthing possibilities, identifying potential. We Tasmanians thrive on this. It's what makes us different. It's what drives us to succeed. Together, we can embrace the future. MCMF and us. A state of opportunity.
Hi, I'm Ray Chamberlain, and here are the top reasons why you should become an AFL umpire. You love intellectual conversations.
I know you're not. No, I said. And you said no.
Everybody knows you need help with your anger management issues.
We don't talk to one another like that. It's okay.
You just can't keep up with the young ones any longer.
It's run down.
Because you like to get paid to keep fit.
Blow your whistle, show your decision, show your good strong signals, then get on your bike and go.
It's the best game in the world.
Welcome back to the University of Tasmania Stadium for the NTFA Premier Division Reserves Grand Final between Longford and South Launceston. I'm Rob Sowd and I'm joined by Damien Ryan, and currently at three-quarter time, the reigning premiers have got their nose in front as Longford 6-4-40, South Launceston 3-3-21. We heard before the break what needs to happen in Damien Ryan's eyes. So it's all to do for South at the moment, Damien. South do have the advantage of this reasonably strong but swirly breeze blowing towards the city end of the ground. So 22 minutes ahead of both sides after a 9-month campaign. Do you think South can do it?
Look, I noticed they've made one change there. Alexander's gone into the middle, so that should give him a bit of speed around the ball. But look, I'd battle to see South getting over the line.
Great to see too. We had a viewer joining us from the Mowbray pub, and thank you for that suggestion, Kendra, for your best on. South's going to have a quick look at it though. Oh, just offline, so it would have been the start they wanted. They're 20 seconds in.
Absolutely, would have been a great start, that goal, to get one there.
Tom Cox relieving free kick there for the Tigers. The veteran goes back in the lateral direction. He's been just a massive inclusion for Longford today. He's been so busy around the ball. Nice mark taken there. He's gone out in the Larby direction. Larby battling to keep that in. And as we've referenced through the call, Damien, Michael Larby was terrific in last year's senior grand final. A really nasty arm break, as both you and Nathan referenced, and great to see him back out there playing good football.
It is, and I know that they love him at the football club because he would have been at every training session after he broke his arm, and continue to keep turning up and happy to play reserves, even though he's best on ground in the senior grand final last year.
Go Tigers, bring it home, and Labs, pull your other sock up watching from Longford Tigerland. Good on you, Sabrina. Thank you for joining us watching out there at Tigers headquarters. Stuart Gilpin at the Lagana Tavern. Good on you, Stu. Daryl Crane on Flinders Island. Love it. Good on you, Daryl. Hope you're enjoying things from over there. We're enjoying it here at UTAS Stadium. It's a typical spring day. The rain is holding off, although there's been a shower or two through the day. So not affecting the great surface we've got here at UTAS Stadium. So well done, City of Launceston, the way you look after this ground. The AFL clubs love coming here, Damien.
They do, and community football loves playing here on this day as well because it's a fantastic venue.
South opening it up, stringing some nice play together there, really looking for something. Elmer drives it forward into a dangerous position. Cleared away though, as they've done Charlie Bull on that occasion. He's gone out in the William Murphy direction. Cry of ball. Tigers can't pick it up. When South get the ball out into space, they look really dangerous, Damien, but Longford's just not letting them do that.
No, and they had a little bit of space there, and they just couldn't quite get a handle on the ball. A couple of fumbles, and the ball's all of a sudden gone, or Longford's wrapped them up.
Reeves. He looked dangerous early, but we haven't seen a lot of him since. He's got it back now, Reeves. Bit of a mongrel looking sort of a hit. Tigers around the footy. Tigers player tackled without it. Thought he was a little bit unlucky there. Fraser didn't like the bit of attention he got back, and bit of steam in this one on the boundary line.
Yeah, there's a bit of passion out there now.
South looking for something to get him going. Fraser thought he was unfairly dealt with. He's given away a free kick. A little bit over exuberant, Fraser. And that's Riley Dabner. He didn't like it. Jai Lavelle in there. The umpire's picked a free kick out here to Longford. That man Luttrell again. He's been good, hasn't he, Damien?
He has been good. He has been very good. I mean, he stood his ground there, and someone just held him by the jumper, and it was a pretty simple free for the umpire to give. Tigers
through Chug. Goes over to Lewis. It's going to sit for Lewis, I think. Louis loads it up. Drives it in long there. Oh, great mark. Great mark. He's been absolutely fantastic today, Jacob Madden.
Yeah, that was a great grab. Good kick by Lewis to the top of the goal square. So I'm sure, pretty confident Jacob will step up and nail this one.
Just sat up in the breeze there for him. Had he sort of done that at the other end, it might have carried, but it just sat there for him, Madden. And he's going to line up for his third of the day, and this is going to make it really hard for the Dogs. Moves in, strikes it well. And you can hear from the crowd reaction that they love it. The Tigers move on to 7-4-46. South Launceston 3-3-21, Damien. So all to do for South Launceston now, but what a great passage of play there for the Tigers.
It was, Rob. They brought it from one end of the ground to the other. The lateral free kick was a key there, and he passed it down the wing, and the centering kick in there to Jacob Madden, who took a fantastic grab, and that's 3 goals for the game now. And in a game where his team's only scored 7, that's a really influential contribution.
Yeah, South have really got to get their skates on here to cause the Tigers some trouble. They've controlled it from the outset, Longford. They've looked the better side all day. Luttrell back into the ruck now, and they've thrown the magnet around. They've put Wiggins up around the ball. Page for the Bulldogs. Kicks to space. Ball bobbling around, but only as far as the Tigers. That's William Murphy. the mystery man. I think that's out on the full. Larby reckons it's hit the chalk. Well, we're up here, and I reckon it's a good sell there, Michael. You're not going to get away with that one. He's gone back inboard there, and he's found Alex Lyons. Lyons moving it on quickly for the Bulldogs, giving them an inside 50. Longford defence has just been impenetrable in recent times. But that's not a good kick. Purvis chops that one off for the Dogs, and that's not a good kick. And that's gathered there, holding the ball thereafter. I reckon he'd be pretty stiff. He really didn't have an opportunity there. Good tackle from the South player in Kruger. And Tom Cox getting up with the footy, the Longford vice-captain. Luttrell and Wiggins. Wiggins now in the ruck to help out. Bobbling around there. The Tigers player feeling the heat and getting rid of it. Didn't sit there for Lyons. Kick back in there. Larby taps it on. The Tigers are trying to get it out. Will it sit for Chug? I think it will. Chug gives it by hand only as far as the South player in Sawford. Moves it back quickly inboard to Leicester. Bulldogs are mounting an attack. Looking dangerous. Oh, just carried the pack. Haywood trying to keep it in to conjure something. Reeves. Graham. The experience of Graham telling in that situation there for the Longford Tigers. He's just kicking to open space. The South Launceston player happy to see that out. Now he's asked for insufficient intent. You can't have it both ways, Damien Ryan, can you?
No, you can't, Rob. And intelligent kick there from Sam. But just a few moments ago, we actually saw South get a handball receive on the half-back line and bring the ball through the middle, which got them to their forward line. So more of that's going to give them an opportunity to score, Rob.
Yeah, they look dangerous when they play. That's their brand of footy, but the Tigers just not letting it happen today. Tregurtha, he's battled hard. He's probably been one of South's best today. He was on the bottom of that. It's just been a really good team effort from Longford. It's really hard to single out star players. I mean, obviously Madden's kicked 3. He's been really good. Ben Murphy early was terrific. Larby, Luttrell. But it's just been a really good, solid effort from the Tigers. South throwing it all out there at the moment. A quick kick forward, looking for something. It's going to be a boundary throw-in, which is probably the best result for them. We're approaching 8 minutes in the last quarter here at UTAS Stadium. Rob Soward and Damien Ryan, Premier Division Reserves Grand Final. Longford 7-4-46, South Launceston 3-3-21. No ruckman in that situation. It's found open space. Tom Cox tackled. Sort of beat the ruckman that boundary throw, and he just landed in open space and Cox pounced on it. He's happy to take his time. Time's on their side, the Tigers at the moment. Graham and Nason this time do battle.
There was a good tap by Nason to Reeves.
Just trying to create something. Haywood could have been taken high, and the umpire agrees with us up here in the commentary box. Ben Haywood, he's kicked 2 for the Dogs today, and to say this is an important shot on goal is probably the biggest understatement we've said all day. Haywood desperately needs to kick this to give the Dogs any chance, and you can see there in the replay it was always high. The Tigers thought he might have ducked, but it was a high tackle. He's usually pretty good, Haywood. I won't say too much because the commentator's curse will strike. Not on this occasion though, and Ben Haywood puts his 3rd on the board for the South Launceston Bulldogs, Damien Ryan, and they move on to 4-3-27. Longford 7-4-46, 9 minutes gone. Much needed goal.
A really important goal. Really important goal, and he's kicked straight today. So let's see how they go when they reset back in the middle. They know they're going to have a challenge trying to win a tap out, but if one of their ground level players can get the ball and win it forward, there'll be plenty of one-on-ones, and also kick the space when they get it forward.
Great suggestions there, Damien Ryan. They've certainly got to do something because what they've done hasn't worked so far. Well, they've got the takeaway this time, and they'll go forward through that only as far here as Dakin. He's been terrific back there for the Tigers today. Battling away for them, the captain Pearton, but gathered by the Dogs. They're looking at setting something up. Player there, Elmer, under a lot of pressure. He gets it out though, despite that pressure. They'll get another look at it here inside 50. And very, very happy Benny Barker, the veteran, happy to see that one over the boundary line. But plenty of time, Damien Ryan, left for the Dogs.
There is, and it's probably a good result, a boundary throw-in rather than a point. gives the Dogs an opportunity to try and create something in their forward line or generate a free kick of some sort.
The goal here would make it interesting for them. Graham takes it out of the air. Nason now battles on as the crummer goes in the Elmer direction. Chug for the Tigers towards the boundary line. Loping after it there is Ben Murphy, who's happy to see it out of play. Looked very disappointed, but a good act there from Murphy. The boundary line was his friend as the time keeps ticking. We're approaching the halfway mark of the last quarter. The Tigers up by 19 with 11 minutes to play. William Murphy in there. Dogs, quick kick off the ground. And that's a fortuitous mark there taken by Reeves. He recognises the need to hurry. Mouthguard tucked in the sock, and he goes back to line up for probably his most important kick of the day, but certainly for South, they need a goal. There's no two ways about that. Strikes it well, Reeves, with the breeze behind him, but it's always offline. They needed a goal there, the Dogs. They're not going to be able to do it in points. 4-4-28, Longford 7-4-46. You can see on the replay there, Damien, what a great mark that was from Field Reeves.
It was, playing in front, dropped into his lap. The kick, though, just going to allow for the wind a little bit more because the breeze is going to the left. Here's a good kick back into the middle to Nason, who's, like you said, Rob, challenged by 4 different ruckmen throughout the day.
Well, he's a bright light too for South Launceston going forward. I know at senior level they rely so heavily on low. This young fella coming through is certainly a bright light on that horizon. But an important kick for the Dogs in the scheme of things here. Close to the man on the mark. It's working its way back. It's going to be all right. They come from everywhere, the Bulldogs, to get around young Caleb Nason as he moves South Launceston on to 5-4-34. Trailing Longford 7-4-46, but you get a bit of a sniff, Damien, don't you, that there's something in the air.
That's right. I mean, that'll put the Dogs, they'll get their tails up hopefully now and put some more extra effort into it. Seems to be opening up a little bit more, and Longford may be tiring a little bit, but we still need 2 more goals to at least get extra time.
We do. You saw that great replay there from our people here on the technical side of things. It's just a beautiful strike of the ball there from Nason, and we've got a game on our hands with around about 9 minutes to play. The Longford Tigers by 2 goals. Ruckman do battle. Larby back in the ruck. Things are getting serious, when Larby gets in there against Wiggins. So it'll be interesting to see what rolls out in the next couple of minutes. Dogs through Tregurtha. He's been one of their best today. Take it away. Chopped off across half-back. Could be a push in the back there against Jai Lavelle, and that's what the umpire says. South move it on quickly. That'll be 50.
Yes,
that'll be 50.
Right,
Run through the protected area.
Hang on, we've got something going on down in the pocket here.
Bit of how you're going up further up the ground there, featuring Ben Barker. I didn't see what happened there, but it's a costly free kick to give away. Ill discipline running through the protected space. Will Bennett will be lining up for his second. We've got a game on our hands here at UTAS Stadium. South Launceston 6-4-40, Longford 7-4-46, 14 minutes gone. Rob Soward and Damien Ryan, NTFA Reserves Grand Final in the Premier League. Proudly brought to you by our sponsors, Jeremy Wilkinson, Harcourts Launceston, Tasmanian Agent of the Year, 5 years running. MCMF, Murdoch Clark Mortgage Fund, Launceston and Hobart, and the Athlete's Foot, Brisbane Street, Launceston. So, Damien, what a game we have on our hands here. We're just approaching the 15-minute mark, so there's 7 minutes to go. Anybody's game. The Tigers this time with a takeaway. Cox. Gray that was, drives it inside. 50! Oh, that man, Madden. He's been fantastic all day today. Jacob Madden, smart around the footy, protected the drop area, and he's going to be lining up for his 4th, a much-needed one for the Tigers. Have a look at this on the replay. Look at that. Under intense pressure, Damien Ryan.
That's a great pack, Mark. There was at least 6 players in that pack, and I can tell you right now he would not have been the tallest player in that pack, but he was in the front position and took a very good grab.
Moves in, Madden. Traditional style, he runs around. It's not working in back enough for him. It's going to fall short! Crammed off the pack! Oh, what a fantastic goal that was. Looks like Charlie Taylor.
There's some controversy in the goal square, Rob. The umpires are getting together to discuss whether it was touched or not.
I've called it a goal where there's a bit of a meeting of the minds up there. They're a lot closer to it than I am. Pulls the triggers! Oh, you can hear the boost from the South Launceston fans, but that's going to go in the scorebook. Charlie Taylor with a great crumbing goal. So that steadied the ship a bit for the Tigers, Damien. They move on to 8-4-52. South Launceston 6-4-40. I think we've got the replay coming. Let's have a look here. Taylor, crumbs, kicks. The South players said it's touched. They've all gone up in unison there, so no arc here at UTAS Stadium, Damien Ryan.
No arc, mate, and very difficult to tell on the replay as well. It looked like he may have touched his boot, but not the ball, possibly.
Anyway, it's on the scoreboard, so all to do for the Dogs. A much-needed goal there for the Tigers. Sam Luttrell back into the ruck. This time Wiggins, his opponent. He's been great today for the Dogs, particularly down back, but battled away in the ruck to give Nason a chop out. They need something quickly here, South. They started to seize the momentum. That's a throw, I reckon you'll find. And it is, and it's going to be a free kick there to Tom Cox, the vice-captain for the Tigers, in the long sleeves. Loads up. Driving them into attack out in the Larby direction. Cop one late Larby there from Nason. He's put a bit of mustard on that, I think. But the umpires, found 50.
Oh, look, I think you're right, Rob. There might have been a little bit of mustard on that one. But the umpires seen fit to pay 50 down the ground, so Big Labs might be a chance to shut the gate.
I don't reckon he could walk any slower either. He's obviously aware the clock's ticking. So, a bit of a late one. He might have been just checking to see that Labs had been doing his sit-ups at training, I think. But anyway, it's 50. Larby's going to line up to open this margin to 18 points, which might be too far for the Dogs. Larby moves in and likes it off the boot. And he's kicked his second for the day, Michael Larby, and that takes Longford on to 9-4-58. South Launceston 6-4-40. So you'd sort of think, Damien Ryan, with 4 minutes to go and 3 goals to score, 3 goals plus another point, that it could be a bridge too far for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I think so, Rob. I mean, they've kicked 6 goals for the game, South, over 3.5 quarters, and to come up with another 3 in a few minutes is going to be a massive challenge. So they need to start with the first clearance here, and Nason's going to take on Luttrell, the experienced campaigner. Yeah,
he's been one of South's best today, Nason. I thought he's played a really, really good game, as we've said all broadcast. He's had a cast of thousands in there rucking against him. This time it's Luttrell. The Dogs take it away, though. They've done that really well. Not a clean takeaway, though. Despite Longford's dominance in and around that centre square, the clearance work from the Dogs players has been good, but it's just not been that clean takeaway that they've craved to give their forwards first look at it. Whistle's going and players getting pulled out of the contest. Nason and Luttrell with a big tap to open space. Lewis leading in the race. Larby there for the Tigers. Tregurtha. He's been great today, the vice-captain.
Yeah, look, Rob, you can see, Longford are doing a great job of just locking it all up. They've frustrated South down. They've given away a free kick to Murphy, I think it is.
Sam Gray.
Sam Gray,
they
apologies.
do look very similar. No, they look very similar. He's found Chug. Gives it off to Gatenby. Gatenby drives it inside 50. Should be chopped off there. I think the umpires found a free kick to Lions. So that man Akers, we haven't seen a lot of him today, but you go back there's a bit of push and shove and a bit of how you're going, and nothing serious in that. Umpires found that free kick in Lions' favour. And that's a really nice diving mark taken there by Dakin, I think that is.
That's right, it was a good mark by Dakin in defence.
Chips it back into the middle. Tigers got all the time in the world. The scoreboard's working for him. Gray just bobbles it around there. Reeves gives it back to the umpire. It's that horrible point in the game, isn't it, Damien, when you know that with a minute or so to go that the margin's too great to make up, but no better feeling when you're in front in this situation.
No, you're right, Rob, and these are, if you have time and you're out there and you're Longford, you're soaking up the minutes, enjoying the time in the sun for some of these players who may or may not have played in premierships in the past. And South are just releasing a little bit of frustration with a little bit of jumper pulling out there on the outer wing. The umpires probably need to just grab the ball, get the game going, and we'll finish up.
Yeah, great point you make there, Damien. We don't want to see what's been a pretty good even encounter ruined by anything silly this late stage. We're 21 and a half minutes gone. It's going to be a Tigers flag. Nothing silly, fellas. Just enjoy your footy. Jared Lewis got it there for the Tigers. He loads it up. Bobbling around there, South trying to just fight out the remaining seconds. Siren's not too far away. And there it is! The Longford Tigers. Well, it's like a replay of last year's grand final, Damien Rind. The result was the same. South having the easier path in this year after upsetting Bridge North in the second semi. Longford had to come to the final the hard way, but that journey has worked for them. 9-4-58 emerging victorious over the South Launceston Bulldogs, 6-4-40. Before I throw to you for your comments, I'll go through the goal scorers. And for Longford, Jacob Madden with 3, Charlie Taylor with 2, and Michael Larby with 2. Singles to Samuel Luttrell and Ben Chugg. And for the Bulldogs, well, certainly none tried harder in their forward line than Ben Haywood with 3, Will Bennett with 2, and Caleb Nason with 1. So a pretty good game through its entirety. Not much between them, but when it mattered, Longford opened up that bit of a lead, and despite that South run in the last quarter, Damien didn't surrender it.
No, they held firm, Rob. All the experienced players has stood up, and as you mentioned through the call, I think a lot of Dylan's instruction through the last quarter was to play wide, control the play, lock the ball up. Their Longford big men have been a lot smarter throughout the game, and South just weren't able to get out to the space, Robin, and use their legs and speed.
Yeah, look, and that's their one wood. I mean, as you called beautifully, Damien, in your assessment of things, when they got it out into open space and they were running on and receiving handballs, they looked really dangerous. But to Longford's credit, not only did they play their own game, but they took South's game away from them, and that's the challenge, mate, isn't it? When you're coaching a side as you have, you obviously got your game plan, but you try and take that one wood away from your opponent, and that's what's happened today. We're getting ready for the presentations. Rick Fontaine, the Master of Ceremonies at ground level, will cross down there in a moment as the players make their way across for the presentations. And on behalf of Damien and myself, that's probably us done for this one. Thank you, Damien, and for your input, and for Nathan Warren in the first half. And we're looking forward to the rest of the day, and particularly the big battle coming up after this one with the City Tigers Rochalee taking on the Hillwood Sharks in the senior grand final.
Yeah, that's right, Rob. It should be a great battle in the next game, but credit to both sides. They fought out the game valiantly here today. Longford, as you mentioned through the call, Rob, just a real good team effort across the board, and deserving winners, I feel.
Not quite ready to head down to ground level, so just picking up your point there, Damien, that nice even effort across the Tigers for 4 quarters. Their big men were terrific. You could throw a blanket over Larby, Luttrell, They were fantastic. Just both doing really, really important work. You looked at the effort of Madden, the small forward there, with his 3 goals. He was terrific. Sam Graham, another taller, very familiar. I know you would have probably coached against him in the ruck. Again, just having the luxury of being able to do that's just terrific. For South, though, certainly far from disgrace. They were great. They were served really well by Connor Wiggins. We called his name a lot today. I thought Ben Tregurtha was probably their best. Ben Haywood was fantastic with 3 goals. Will Bennett was really, really good with a couple. Caleb Nason, I thought, battled terrifically in the ruck for them. A bit of a lone hand until Wiggins gave him a chop out. But looking at both these sides, South have got a lot of depth up there. They went out last week in the senior preliminary final. Their underage side have been really good all year. But we're about to cross down to ground level to our Master of Ceremonies, Rick Fontaine.
Okay, thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to both teams. What a great last quarter that was. Terrific fight back from South Launceston in the closing stages, but well done to Longford, our premiers for 2023. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge our umpires. I'm going to ask the City of Launceston Mayor Matthew Garwood to come forward to present the medallions, and I think Izzy might be coming forward to take the medals on behalf of the umpires. So thank you, guys. Thank you, Mayor. As I said, terrific game. It's been an outstanding season, not only in the seniors but in the reserves in 2023. Unfortunately, just one winner today, but as I said, a great contest, particularly in that last quarter. I'd like to invite South Launceston coach to come forward and say a few words, please, Robert Towns.
Firstly, to Longford, it's been a hard 3 years. Congratulations though, you're a fantastic side and you keep turning up. Look, we had 19 new players from last year today, a lot of kids, and I'm super proud of the way they fought that out in that last quarter. We've got a big development process happening at the club at the moment, and you guys have certainly seen a benchmark to chase. Well done. To the boys, look, it hurts, I know that, but stick fat, stay together. As I just alluded to, you're a young group, an average age of about 22, apart from a couple of old fossils. Enjoy yourselves, be proud of the year and what we're building at the footy club. Thanks to the NTFA and our sponsors. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks very much, Robert, and well done overall to South Launceston. About a terrific season right across the NTFA. All right, time now to present the award for our best on ground today. They'll take home a $100 voucher courtesy of the Athlete's Foot, and also this magnificent best on ground medal that's going to be presented by the Mayor of City of Launceston, Matthew Garwood. And I'd like to announce that the winner, the best on ground in the Reserves Grand Final for 2023 from Longford, Jacob Madden. Congratulations. All right, now time to present our Premiership medallions for 2023. So when I do call your name forward, if you could come to the stage to accept your medal, and they'll be presented today by the new community football manager for Tasmania, Tom Barwick, who's here with us in Launceston today, and Doc Scott to present the Bogues caps to our premiers. So we'll start off with Longford, number 1, Sam Gray. Number 4, Ben Chugg. Number 6, Jai Lavelle. Next up is number 7, Tom Gaitami. Number 8, Riley Dabner. Number 10, Jared Lewis. Next up, number 11, he's had a historic year for his club as well, Sam Graham. Number 12, Liam Hinchcliffe. Number 16, Samuel Luttrell. Now it's number 20, Daniel King. Number 22, Charlie Bull. Number 23, William Murfitt. Number 24, Jacob Madden. (26) Benjamin Murfitt. Number 29, Charlie Taylor. Next up is number 32, Aaron Dakin. Number 33 and Vice Captain, Tom Cox. Number 34, Michael Larby. (35) Ben Barker. (42) Tyrese Williams. Number 44, Tony Aganis. Wearing number 46, Digby Bellchambers. (48) Callum Ackers. And please welcome the captain of Longford, number 41, Luke Pearton. And let's hear it now for the coach of the Longford Football Club, Dylan Headland.
First and foremost, just really want to thank South Launceston. You've been our fiercest rival for the last 3 years. You know, it's always a fantastic contest. You gave me a little bit of a heart attack in that last quarter. I thought you guys were absolutely storming home. So credit to you guys. You've got some very, very valuable young players. Your list is very young, so you're in a really good place at the moment. So thank you. To our boys, you know, I think it's a fantastic, show of that we were down in that last quarter, but we were able to build back up and finish the game really strong. So congratulations. Just lastly, to the fans, obviously I'm a coach, we've got our players here, but this one's for Longford, so thank you guys.
Congratulations, Dylan, well done on more success for the Longford Football Club. All right, now it gives me great pleasure to invite the president of the Longford Football Club, Rob Moore, to come forward to receive the Premiership flag for 23, and this will be presented by NTFA Vice President Damien Jones. Thank you, Damien. Congratulations, Rob. So that leaves us with one more duty, and that is to present the Premiership Cup. And I'm going to invite a Longford legend, Anthony Teddy Williams, to come forward with the Premiership Cup. And we'll invite Luke and Dylan, if you could both come to the stage. Fair enough too. Come forward, guys. So we'll leave Teddy to make the presentation to our 2023 NTFA Premier Division Reserves Premiers, the Longford Football Club.